how to bounce back from a negative slump or a rough patch. That's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So firstly, what do I mean by a negative slump and a rough patch? So this is when you have a particular goal or area that you're working on, but you've had a continuous time where it's just not going the way you wanted, or you're not meeting that particular goal that you've set, and it's been like a few days, a week, even a couple of weeks, even months maybe for some of you. It's just not going the way you wanted. You're out of rhythm. Nothing's going your way in that particular goal or that niche, and you just can't see a way out. You're almost stuck in this like thick energy. There's this, every day is becoming the same, repetitive. So an example of that would be, let's say, you are a good one for me as well, is morning routines. I've been wanting to get a really good, consistent morning routine for a while. For example, you get up, you do some stretches, you do some meditation, some reading, journaling, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be that specifically, but that's just an example. And for me personally, it was a couple of months ago. It was going perfectly. I had a really good run. Everything, I'd get up at the exact time I said I would get up. I can't remember if it's 5 or 6 a.m. I'd get up at that time, do my practices for about an hour straight. Fantastic. I've had a great start to the day after that. Really, really good for a good 2-3 weeks. Like literally perfect. The routine was going well. And then I went away on holiday for a week? I can't remember now. Week, 9 days, I can't remember. And since that, I just couldn't get back into the rhythm. It broke out my rhythm completely. It's getting up when you want there, not sticking to the routines as much. And since coming back, it's been about a couple of months when I just couldn't find the same rhythm. I'd do like a day, 2, even 3 days, and then lose it again. Maybe I'd snooze the alarm or wouldn't do the full practice. So stuff like that. That's the example of what I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be a morning routine. It could be you're doing job hunting, you're not finding a job, you're trying to run a business that you're not hitting the goals, you had a rough patch, you're not hitting your revenue, your profit, or the clients that you want for that week, that month. So what do you do in this case? But you need to first understand that this is part of life. Even these professional athletes, these people at the top of their game, they hit rough patches. There's a football team called Manchester City here in the UK. They have won the past 5-6 titles, the Premier League titles it's called, in a row. I don't know how many actually. It could be 5, I don't know, 4 or 5, whatever. In a row, they've won a lot of titles basically. But this year, everything's going tits up. Like they're losing games. I think they've lost 5 in a row now, and then they drew another one from 3-0 up. So even the best can have these rough patches. The thing is, the people that are the best, the teams that are the best, what separates them is they bounce back quicker, and they find a way to bounce back even when all odds are against them. And how do they do that? Firstly, it's a mentality thing. You've got to remember the people that are at the top, they actually always have a form of positive reinforcement. So the people that are not, say, elite people, this could be in sport or just in any industry, when we have a rough patch, we tend to focus on the negatives. That's the big problem. We focus on the things that are going wrong, and we focus on the negative emotion that you're feeling. And we become laser focused on all that and what's going wrong. Meaning the brain, from the reticular activating system, will then try to find more things that supports and back up your, the evidence, and to give you more reasons for why things could go wrong and why things are not working. Which is why you find when one thing goes wrong and you focus on that, another thing goes wrong and another thing goes wrong, and before you know it, everything's going wrong in the day, because that's all you're focusing on. And it's not to say don't acknowledge these negative or these slumps, because you need to feel the feelings fully, accept them for what they are, but then you reframe it to look for the positive in things. So you look for small wins in the day. Let's say the case for me, the morning routine. Let's go back to that again. No, ideally I'd hit an hour-long morning routine that's perfect. I'd get up at the exact time, but I've had a while where I just can't do it consistently for whatever reason. Could be because it's winter, could be because I've not, it's not an ingrained habit. So I look for a small win. What did I do today? I got up at the time I said I would. I did a bit of stretching for a couple of minutes. Cool. It's not ideal. It's not, a couple of minutes is not long, but it's a little win. So then the next day I can look to improve on that. Okay, yesterday I did a couple of minutes stretching. Today I can do 3-4 minutes of stretching. So stuff like that. Just look to any little win you can find a day. Note it down if you have to. At the end of the day, literally do some journaling, like write down 2 or 3 wins you had of that day, because then it will build up and build up and build up, and it will compound. In stocks and finance, it's compound interest. It's kind of the same thing. You just do a little thing, 1% each day, 1%, and improve on that. And you're going to have days as well. Unfortunately, this is not life to continuously improve. You're going to have days that have a little setback. But the goal is to not let those setbacks take you all the way back to the beginning. So rather than it being a setback wipes you all out and you go back to square one, you want it to be a minor setback, accept that for what it is, quickly adapt, and then you go again from that point. So if you've reached this height and you've set back a little bit, you restart there again and then go from there, rather than restarting right from the beginning. So that's I guess that's one way you can bounce back, is to focus on the little positives, to compound that over time. And I think another thing to do is to actually surround yourself by individuals on a similar path. Now, I know a lot of you may be thinking you can't, the environment you're in, whether it's work, at home, something, you don't have people like that in your neighborhood, in your area, in your work, whatever it is. But it doesn't have to be that, and you don't even have to speak to them or know them on a personal level. You could just surround yourself digitally. We've got this online, you've got YouTube, Instagram, all these social medias. You could just literally subscribe or follow all these pages. So then that is what you're seeing when you're scrolling through. So you're seeing people that have got the same goal as you. So you don't know them obviously in person, but you're seeing that. So whenever you go onto your phone, you're seeing something that's popping up, a video of someone that's got the same goal as you. So you're not in it alone, because it can feel quite isolating if you think you're the only one going through it, no one to turn to for support. Obviously, ideally, you'd have people in your life that whether you're talking to them on the phone or whatever, or in person, that are on the same path as you. But if that's not possible, start small again. Start online. Just follow people's pages that are similar to you. Follow like a few of them, then you'll see loads of that, popping up on your feed. So that's also another way to bounce back from a slump. And you got to remember that this is just life. There's no point, keep, overplaying it in your head of what's going on, because you're just going to be stuck further and further and further, and it's going to be harder and harder and harder to get out. So they're the 2 main ways, I think, that would be best for most people to get out of the slumps. Focus on the small wins. Surround yourself with people and things that are in alignment with what you want and the stage that you're at. Because you've got to remember as well, if, for example, let's say you want to run a business, you want to run your own successful business, but you're following people who have got multi-million pound businesses. So like Alex Hormozi's one, he's just released a book not so long ago, $100 million leads, right? His business has reached $100 million, and he knows what he's doing in business, clearly. But if you're only following people at the top of their game, it's not quite as relatable. Like, you've just started a business and you're there like trying to make a few £100, £1,000 or dollars, whatever it is for you. And you're following people just doing $100 million, 1 million, 2 million, 10 million. You're going to be a bit disheartened as well. So it's good to see in the people, that's where you want to get to, but also follow people or have people in your circle that are on a similar stage to you. And often you will attract the people that are a similar stage to you, because it's just how law of attraction, mirroring works and stuff anyway. But like I say, the stuff, just be aware of that, be mindful of that. But the one last thing I would add is, I know I said about social media and following people, but have stuff everywhere that reminds you, or is like positive affirmations for you everywhere you look. So like on your phone, you could have little notes on your phone that just say like, that highlight your wins of the day, or give you just a positive affirmation, like keep going, you're having a great day, you did this better than yesterday. Even post-it notes on your computer, on your laptop, on your dinner table, little post-it notes to remind you of what's good, what you've done good, just to keep boosting you. So they're the 3 things, all right? So focus on the small wins, compound them over time, just do a little bit more each time when you can. Accept that you are not going to be continuously progressing. It's a little setbacks, but then from there you adapt and you go again rather than falling all the way back. Have people around you, whether that's digitally, in person, that are on the same goal as you, same mindset. can put things in your everyday environments to remind you. Post-it notes, notes on your phone. Even just if you have recordings of yourself, that's a good one. You could literally have voice recordings of yourself. Even have t-shirts that have like a positive message on them. So little things in your environment that are always going to remind you to keep going, to bounce back. And eventually after some time, you'll pick up, and those small wins build up. So remember that. Hope that helps, and have a great day.